Most guys train for years and still never build that V shape that turns heads. Not because they're weak, not because they're lazy, but because they're training the wrong muscles first and skipping the ones that actually change how your body looks. Today, I'm breaking down the exact 5 moves that reshape your frame fast. Miss even one of them, or do them in the wrong order, and your progress stalls without you realizing why. If your goal is a visible V shape, most people start in the wrong place. They hammer chest, they chase back thickness, they pump arms. But none of those change how wide your upper body looks as fast as this. The side delts. These small, often ignored muscles control the outline of your entire upper frame. They sit on the outer edge of your shoulders, and when they grow, they push your silhouette outward from every angle. That's why 2 guys with the same body weight can look completely different. One looks athletic and broad, the other looks narrow and flat. Even if he's strong, when side delts develop, your shoulders instantly appear wider. Your waist looks tighter by comparison. Your arms look larger because they now hang from a wider base. Nothing else gives you that visual upgrade so quickly. And the most effective way to build them is the dumbbell lateral raise. But here's the problem. Lateral raises look easy, so most people treat them casually. They rush the reps, they swing the weights, they grab dumbbells that are too heavy. And the moment that happens, the exercise stops being a side delt builder. Your traps jump in, your arms take over. The muscle that actually creates width goes silent. That's why so many guys say, "My shoulders don't grow," even after years of training. They're working hard, but the tension is never where it needs to be. Here's how to fix it. Before the weight even moves, stand tall and relax your traps. Set a slight bend in your elbows and lock it in. Not straight, not bent. Fixed. Think of your arms as rigid levers. If that elbow angle changes mid-rep, tension leaks away from the side delts. Now raise the dumbbells straight out to your sides. Not forward, not angled. Clean and wide. Lift only until your arms reach shoulder height. That's the sweet spot. The second you go higher, your traps take over and the side delts shut down. At the top, add one small detail that most people never learn. Tilt your wrists slightly forward, like you're pouring water out of a bottle. That tiny rotation shifts tension directly into the side delts and makes each rep dramatically more effective. And here's the rule that separates growth from wasted effort. No momentum. If your hips swing, your torso leans, or you launch the dumbbells upward, you've made the exercise easier and killed the very tension that builds shape. Use a weight you can fully control. Feel the burn build as the muscle resists every inch of the lift. When you do this right, the change is fast. Your shoulders start pushing outward. Your shirts stretch across the upper frame. Your arms and back look bigger without gaining size, because the visual base has expanded. That's why this movement comes first. It sets the width of your entire physique, but width alone isn't enough. To turn that new frame into something powerful and complete, you need to add depth, and that's where the next exercise becomes essential. Wider shoulders instantly change how your body looks. But here's the mistake most people make. They stop there. They build width, but never add depth. And without depth, a physique doesn't look powerful. It looks empty. This is why some guys look broad in a t-shirt, but unimpressive up close. Their frame is wide, but it isn't solid. That's where the dumbbell shoulder press becomes essential. This movement is the foundation of real shoulder size. It doesn't just add muscle, it adds structure. It builds the front and middle of the delts in a way that makes the entire upper body look thicker, stronger, and more athletic. Dumbbells matter here. Unlike a barbell, they allow your arms to move freely, your wrists rotate naturally, your elbows track where your shoulders are strongest. That freedom keeps your joints healthy and, more importantly, keeps tension locked into the delts instead of leaking into the elbows or lower back. But only if the setup is right. Start seated or standing tall with your core braced. Pull your shoulders slightly back and bring the dumbbells to shoulder height. Your elbows should sit just in front of your torso, not flared wide, not tucked in. This small detail protects your shoulders and forces the delts to do the work. Now press. Drive the dumbbells straight up, not backward, not inward. Think about pushing your body away from the weights instead of pushing the weights away from your body. At the top, stop just short of locking out. Locking your elbows lets tension escape. Stopping early keeps the shoulders under constant load. Now comes the most ignored part of the lift, the descent. Lower the dumbbells slowly, 2 full seconds. Feel the shoulders resisting gravity the entire way down. This controlled negative is where growth accelerates. It increases time under tension, recruits more muscle fibers, and forces the delts to adapt. But most people rush it. They press hard, then drop the weight like it's an afterthought. And in doing so, they give away half their results. Now let's talk about the mistake that quietly ruins shoulder presses for almost everyone. Lower back arching. The moment your ribs flare up and your spine bends, your core shuts off. Momentum takes over. Your shoulders stop working, and the lift turns into a cheat rep. Lock your abs in. Keep your rib cage down. If you can't control the weight without arching, the weight is too heavy. When you fix this, something big happens. Your shoulders don't just grow, they reshape. They become rounder from the front, thicker from the side, and more dominant in your upper frame. That added depth makes your V shape look powerful instead of fragile. But there's still a problem most people don't see. The shoulder press mainly builds the front and middle delts. If you stop here, your physique looks great head on, but flat and incomplete from behind. And that imbalance doesn't just hurt aesthetics. It ruins posture and collapses your frame over time. That's why the next movement is critical if you want shoulders that look full, round, and impressive from every angle. Up to this point, your shoulders are wider and thicker. From the front, your upper body looks strong. But if you stop here, something still looks off. From the side and the back, your shoulders appear flat. Your posture starts to round forward, and the V shape loses its sharpness. That's because one critical muscle is missing: the rear delts. Rear delts are the difference between a physique that looks good in mirrors and one that looks impressive from every angle. They sit on the back of your shoulders, and when they're underdeveloped, your entire frame collapses inward. Even with big front delts, weak rear delts pull your shoulders forward. Your chest tightens, your upper back flattens, and your V shape quietly disappears. But when rear delts are trained properly, everything changes. Your shoulders look round instead of sloped. Your upper back looks wider. Your posture improves automatically, making your waist look smaller without losing fat. And the best way to target them is with rear delt flies, using either dumbbells or cables. The key here is intention. Most people turn this exercise into a row without realizing it. They pull backward instead of outward, and that shifts the work into the lats and traps. To hit the rear delts correctly, start by locking in a slight bend in your elbows and freezing it there. This keeps your arms from doing the work and forces the shoulder joint to move instead. Now, as you lift, move your arms outward in a smooth arc. Think about opening your wings, not pulling weight behind you. Lead the movement with your elbows, not your hands. If your hands lead, your biceps and forearms take over. At the top, pause for half a second and squeeze. That small pause dramatically increases rear delt activation and improves definition. Then lower the weight slowly with full control. Here's the mistake that kills rear delt growth: going too heavy. Rear delts are smaller than the front delts. When the weight gets too heavy, the traps immediately steal the movement. Drop the ego. Lighter weights with perfect control will build more size and shape than heavy, sloppy reps ever will. When you pair strong rear delts with wide side delts and deep front delts, your shoulders stop looking flat. They become round. They become balanced. They look built from every direction, but shoulders alone don't create the V shape. They build the frame. The next exercise is what fills that frame and creates the dramatic taper that makes your waist look smaller instantly. Your shoulders build the frame, but your back is what creates the V shape itself. This is the muscle group that makes your upper body flare outward, creating that dramatic wide to tight taper that instantly makes your waist look smaller, even without losing fat. And this is where most people go wrong. They train back for thickness, rows, machines, random pull-downs, good exercises, but they don't build the shape that defines a V-frame. That shape comes from your lats. The lats are the large wing-like muscles that sit on the sides of your back. When they grow, your upper body spreads outward from the shoulders down, forming that unmistakable V outline. And the most effective way to build them? Pull-ups. Pull-ups aren't just a body weight movement. They're one of the most powerful upper body exercises you can do when performed correctly. The problem is, most people turn them into an arm exercise without realizing it. To get real back width, setup matters. Grab the bar slightly wider than shoulder width, palms facing away. Too narrow shifts the work into your biceps. Too wide limits strength and range of motion. Now start from a dead hang. Before you pull, depress your shoulders slightly, like you're sliding them into your back pockets. That small movement wakes up your lats before the rep even begins. As you pull, think elbows down toward your ribs, not chin to bar, not pulling with your arms. Drive the elbows. Aim to bring your upper chest toward the bar, not just your chin over it. That extra range is where lat activation peaks. Now control the descent. Lower yourself slowly, 2 to 3 seconds. This negative phase increases time under tension and forces the lats to work harder than the upward pull alone. Here's the mistake that ruins almost everyone's pull-ups. Momentum, kipping, swinging legs, rocking the torso. The moment momentum enters, your lats stop doing the work. You may complete the rep, but you don't build the shape. Keep your body stable. Control every inch. Make your back carry the load. And if you can't do pull-ups yet, that doesn't disqualify you. Assisted pull-ups, bands, or lat-focused cable variations work perfectly. What matters is training the pattern, not skipping it. Because here's the truth. Rows build thickness, machines build control, but pull-ups build flair. And once your lats start widening from the top down, your entire physique changes. Your shoulders look broader, your waist looks tighter. Your upper body finally takes on that sharp V outline. But even with wide shoulders and a strong back, the V shape can still disappear if one area is neglected. That's where the next piece comes in, and it's what locks everything together. You can build wide shoulders and a powerful back, and the V shape can still disappear instantly. Why? Because the waist controls the contrast. The V shape isn't just about getting bigger up top. It's about creating a sharp difference between your upper body and your midsection. And this is where most people overcomplicate things. They think tightening the waist requires extreme dieting, endless cardio, or starving themselves. In reality, it comes down to a few simple habits done consistently. First, carb quality. This isn't about cutting carbs. It's about choosing the right ones. Slow digesting carbs like oats, sweet potatoes, and rice give you training fuel without spiking hunger or pushing fat storage toward your waist. They keep energy stable, which makes consistency easy. Second, processed food. Highly processed foods inflame your body and bloat your midsection, even if calories aren't extreme. The more processed your diet is, the softer your waist looks. Clean that up, and your midsection tightens faster than most people expect. Third, cardio used intelligently. You don't need marathon sessions. Short, higher effort sessions on some days boost metabolism. Longer, steady sessions on other days burn fat without draining recovery. Nothing extreme, just repeatable. When these three things line up, your waist naturally pulls inward. And when that happens, something interesting occurs. Your shoulders look wider. Your back looks larger. Your entire upper body looks sharper without adding muscle. That's the illusion of the V shape working in your favor. But there's one final piece that determines whether that tight waist actually holds its shape. Because a lean waist without strength still collapses. And that's where the final exercise comes in. A smaller waist makes the V shape visible, but a strong core makes it undeniable. Your core isn't just about abs. It's the structure that holds your entire physique upright. When it's weak, posture collapses. Your shoulders roll forward. Your waist looks wider than it actually is. But when it's strong, everything tightens. And the simplest, most effective place to start is the plank. Planks work because they force total body tension. Your abs, obliques, lower back, and glutes all fire at the same time. This isn't about crunching your spine. It's about stabilizing it. Set up with your elbows directly under your shoulders and your body in a straight line. No sagging hips, no high lower back. Brace your core like you're about to take a punch. Lightly squeeze your glutes and pull your belly button in. That tension is what flattens and tightens the waist. Here's the mistake most people make. They chase time instead of quality. A clean 30-second plank with full tension beats 2 sloppy minutes every time. Start with 3 sets of 20 to 30 seconds. As you get stronger, build toward 45 to 60 seconds without losing form, and always do planks at the end of your workout. If you fatigue your core before big lifts, you lose stability and increase injury risk. Finish with them, and they reinforce everything you just trained. Do this consistently, and your waist doesn't just look smaller, it stays tight. The mistakes that kill the V shape. You can do every exercise right and still stall if you keep making these mistakes. The first one, training in the wrong order. If you burn out small muscles before big movements, you weaken the muscles that actually create shape. Less strength means less tension. Less tension means less growth. Second, ego lifting. Swinging weights, arching your back, chasing numbers instead of control. It feels productive, but it builds nothing. Third, ignoring posture, tight chest, weak upper back, rounded shoulders. This collapses your frame and erases the V shape, no matter how wide you are. Fourth, skipping the basics. Pull-ups, presses, and core work are hard. That's exactly why they work. And the biggest mistake of all, inconsistency. Training hard once in a while doesn't build a physique. Repeating the basics consistently does. Fix these, lock in the 5 movements, and the V shape stops being a guessing game. It becomes inevitable. Now here's something most guys never realize. You can build wide shoulders, a strong back, and a tight waist, and your physique can still look unfinished if your forearms are lagging. If they're thin, everything looks weaker. If they're thick, your entire upper body looks more powerful instantly. That's why the video on screen breaks down exactly how to grow your forearms fast with just 2 simple movements. Tap it, and let's keep leveling up.